Hey guys, this is Big Louie from LOU2RETRO, and just wanted to put something online. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. We have moved now. We're like outside of the Kansas City area, and we're got most of the boxes unpacked, and most of the stuff, you know, big furniture type stuff up, put back together. And we have a game room, a dedicated game room now, so that's awesome. And I'll probably, at the end of this video or a subsequent video, you know, film everything and kind of show you guys how that looks. It's not complete yet. You know, I kind of threw stuff up there. We had to go buy some more shelving type stuff. But today I just want to do our show and tell just because it's building up, you know, and I'm trying to put stuff on the shelf, and I keep hesitating, setting stuff over to the side and saying, you know, don't put that away yet because I got to show it in a video or I'll forget. So let me just run through all this stuff here real quick so I can get it up on the shelves and forget about it. So first off, I think I showed this on Facebook and Twitter, but for Father's Day, I got a couple things. I got a book, and then I got 2 awesome coffee mugs. This one is Game Over coffee mug. It's got controller handles on the sides and Game Over at the bottom. So that's pretty cool. And then I got this one right here is a kind of like a Zelda heart coffee mug. And when you put hot stuff in it, it turns red. And then when it's empty, it's black. The problem is it doesn't really work very good. I think my wife bought this off Amazon. We were like right in the middle of the move. So we were going to send it back, but I don't know. I may still try and send it back and get one that actually works, or I may just keep this one. Not really sure yet. Something that I've had for years and years and years, and you can come in. You gonna be on the video? Come on, sit next to me. We have a visitor. Say hi.
Hi.
You haven't been in on the videos for a while, have you?
No, I've been on the video at Tennessee. Sometimes.
This is your first Kansas video?
Yeah.
Kansas City video? Yeah. All right. So something I've had for a long, long time and just never, I haven't had it out. I used to have a lot of toys on display maybe a decade ago, but we really haven't had that for a while. Careful, don't break it. This is something my brother-in-law made me. And actually, he made me 2 of them, and I don't know where the other one is. It's somewhere in a box, yeah, but we'll unpack it. But he knew I was big into Transformers, and he hand-painted this one and another one. And just the craftsmanship of these things are awesome. I'm not sure these things have a name. I guess they're Gundam or something, maybe. I don't know. But just, it's amazing how much work he put into this. And it even comes with this cool stand here. And Sadie, hold up the gun. Has a gun too.
I'm going to close up.
Okay. There's the close up. Awesome. Let me put this back over here. Let's see here. Next up, you can sit back down. You want to hang on to that? You want to hold this up? Give me the gun. Alright, I'll hold that up. Me and Sadie bought this a long time ago. A little plug and play, an Amco plug and play.
I'm just going to close up.
And we haven't plugged it in yet, but we bought it probably a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and it was like in my truck console, and I forgot all about it.
I wanted to say something.
And I bought it for like 75 cents.
Daddy.
Go ahead. You say what you want about it.
And there's a cool sign.
Side art?
That's a cool sign.
Yeah, show me the other side. You can turn the thing around.
Oh.
There you go.
That's like
Awesome.
Ooh.
So that'll go good with our other ones, and you'll see where we're putting all our plug and plays for now. I got a lot more stuff to talk about here, honey. All right. So we had won another contest on a podcast here a week or so ago, and this just came in the mail today. So
I have an idea, Dan. How about you go Tucker? I can show them.
Okay, for the most part, yes. Okay, so we had won Rampage for the Sega Master System, and it does not have the manual, but other than that, it's, you know, got the case and the game inside, and I'm pretty pumped to get that. You know, this guy's over at Retro Game Fix, the podcast, the website. I think they're on almost all social media. Those guys are awesome. I think it's Mitch and Mike are their names. I listen to them every show, and they do great stuff. They're real. I mean, right from the beginning, their show kind of caught my eye, or my ear, I should say. And they're great. They're always giving stuff away, and they're trying to collect every single Sega Master System game, each of them, and then now they're talking about doing the variants. So they're on a roll there, and it's a great show and great guys to listen to. So I'm glad to have them in our lives. Cool, right? All right. Today we went to some thrift stores, right? A couple of them to look around, and we saw this at one. This is Link's crossbow training for the Wii, and it's got the game and the manual inside. So we haven't even plugged that in, but the disc is in immaculate condition, and I'm looking forward to playing that. I think you'll like that too, Sadie, right? And at another thrift store, we picked this up. Okay, they got it. At another thrift store, we picked this up. And this is the only thing I saw in there, but I was a huge Showbiz fan when I was a kid. And for those of you who don't know what Showbiz is, it's like the precursor to Chuck E. Cheese. And if you've never seen the movie Rock Fire Explosion, you gotta watch it. And I know I've mentioned it in the show before, but this is a little record. Cost me, I think it was like 24 or 23 cents or something like that for this record, which is nothing, but it just kind of brought back my childhood. And it's got Do You Love Me, the Rock Fire Explosion, featuring Beach Bear, and Happy Birthday, by the Rock Fire Explosion. So I do have a record.
I want them to listen to the Happy Birthday one.
I know, we gotta hook up the record player first.
No, not that.
What?
On your phone.
Oh, they can't Google it. You guys can Google it. So we got that. And then, you know, it comes with the cover. And I thought it'd be cool to display in here, because that's, you know, one of my first experiences for arcades was Showbiz. So that's cool. Also, about a month or so ago, I'd gone to my college 15-year reunion, and I had a friend that had mentioned that he was going to give me this a long time ago, and he lives a long ways away, and he didn't want to ship it, and I knew we were going to see each other, so he actually gave me this over the 15-year reunion. And I'll hold it up. So, this is the U-Force for the NES. And I only had a little bit of time to test it out. And it is, just like the people say, it's very difficult to work.
Okay, I'm going to show them that.
Okay, so it comes with a joystick. And it comes with a power bar for Punch-Out. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, excuse me. It says and future games. So I don't know if it worked with other games too. But now that we're kind of unpacked and moved in, I might be able to test it out a little bit more and see if I can get this thing working a little bit better than most of the other people. But it's in immaculate condition. Thank you to my friend Ryan for this. This was awesome. Okay, so we actually have a thrift store about a block away from our house.
And just grab them. I can just grab them.
Well, I'm going to grab the big thing first, okay? So first, you know, I went there and I was looking for a, what do you call it, like a stereo receiver so that I could plug in all of our different things into it and we'd actually have better sound, because we only have a small TV in here and then the projector. And I was trying to figure out a good solution to pipe everything in, and I found one. and it was like $10. Took it home, and Sadie's with me, and Louie's been really big into Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I was like, hey dude, you know, I saw some Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm going to do something funny.
Okay, do it.
Ow.
Okay. So I saw these Yu-Gi-Oh cards on the shelf, and I came back and I told Louie about it. I was like, hey man, they got some Yu-Gi-Oh cards there. And he immediately wanted to go back, of course.
We have another special guest.
Okay. So I went back, got Louie, took him back, and as he was looking at those, which he bought for like $1.25 or something like that, I found another box.
You have to say that there's another special guest.
There's another special guest. Who's the other special guest?
Me.
No, okay, I'm not playing that right now. Let me talk about this stuff, okay? Let me talk about this stuff, okay? Because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, so I took Louie back to this thrift store and to check out these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And one other thing is right when we were moving, there was a series of storms, tornadoes, floods, all kinds of crazy stuff coming through this area. And they had a flood the first day that I went there. And they had I think they said 8 inches of standing water on the floor when we went in there. So a lot of stuff got damaged. And sitting on the floor there was this GameCube case. And it didn't look like it had gotten wet at all. And I was like, picked it up, you know, because I've been wanting one of these GameCube cases for our GameCube, one of our GameCubes. And it was heavy, and I was like, oh, it's heavy. That's good. And I unzipped it, opened it up, and there was a GameCube in there. So I was pretty happy already, and I saw there was tons of cables. But not only was there a GameCube in there, but there was the purple GameCube that we didn't have, that I've been looking. And I know Hooper knows I've been looking for this. But it also had the Intech screen on top of it. And it has the Game Boy player on the bottom. So all of that right there, just, you know, I was thrilled. And it also had a bag, a grocery bag full of games on the back side of it. And I looked in there and I didn't see any huge titles that were, you know, very exciting to me. But this right here alone, I was happy. And I took it up to the lady, and they were still cleaning up after the flood. And I asked, how much is this? I don't see a price. And she said, oh, I haven't gone through that stack of stuff yet after the flood. She said this didn't get wet, nor did the stereo, which was good. But she said, how much do you think it's worth? And I was like, well, for GameCubes, I'd bought them as cheap as $3 before, but I don't think I'd pay any more than $15 for a GameCube. And I was starting to think about how much for everything together. And she's like, well, how about $25 for everything? And I was like, because it does have a lot of games. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll do that. What? You're silly. So I said 25 is definitely fair for all this stuff. So I paid him the money, and then got home. And then I realized once I got home, the bag started dripping, and the bag was wet. So the GameCube was actually fine and works great. And I have the cables for everything. I do not have the disc for the Game Boy player, unfortunately. When that's a big bummer, because those go for like $25 or something like that, I think. But we did get a huge stack of games that were all waterlogged. So I had to dry out all of the manuals, to dry out all of the cover art. I had to clean out the disc cases and clean off all the discs. Now all the discs are in great shape, they just got wet. So they all work good. So I will run through these games. Are you going to hold these games up, honey? You are? Hop up. Alright. So first is Mario Golf Toadstool something. She took it before I grabbed it. That does not have a case or anything, but it came with that cool little case, so I'm happy about that. Next up, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. That one did not get... Somehow Tony Hawk did not get wet at all, nor did Mario Golf.
Oops.
Next up, Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2. And this is the one you can really start seeing the water damage on that. The cover's all ripply. The ones that have the water damage, they actually... The instruction booklets on the inside are actually they're permanently sealed together. They're not going to open up anymore. And you can open them up, but you'd probably start damaging pages which I really don't care about because none of these are awesome titles to me, I don't think. Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, and this is a 2-disc one, so that's pretty cool. This one, flip it so you can show the outside, Sadie. There's no cover on the outside, but it does have that little seal, Lord of the Rings official movie seal. So I thought that was cool. Okay? Here's Over the Hedge. A lot of these games are good for Sadie, I think. Right? Here's The Incredibles, Rise of the Underminer. Shrek 2. Okay.
Wait, I'm going to show them the back.
They don't need to see the back. Shrek 2. Okay. Second Sight. Which that looks kind of like a horror game or something. I don't really know too much about that one. That's probably not up our alley too much. We don't play those a lot. Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2. This one didn't really get any water damage. So that's good.
I want to play this.
And the Scorpion King, Rise of the Acadian. Here you go.
I'm still alive, just so that you know.
Give me the video.
Okay. So that is it for the GameCube games. Let me show them this, Sadie. So the cables that it came with, obviously it came for the cables for the Intech screen, but it also came with the DC cables for all this stuff. So Dreamcast, GameCube DC cable, which is awesome.
I'm going to do something.
Okay, well let me finish talking. Okay. Actually, this is. You know what? I'm gonna have to look this up because this actually this is the AV cable. I'm sorry. This is the DC power cable for the drink. Oh, this one is the DC cable for the GameCube. Here's a extension cord. Sadie Lynn. This is an extension cable for the controller, which is pretty cool because I think we're within distance here. But starting to collect these different extension cables. We have one for the NES and we have one now for the GameCube. So we'll have to find some for the SNES and I think we have one for the Genesis as well. Atari was really good because their controllers are really long. Their controller cables are really long, and their power and their AV cables. Back a long time ago, the TV was way farther away, and you didn't have remote control, so they kind of thought that into their plan of action. But since the Nintendo days, they really didn't do that a whole lot. People kept the systems up on the entertainment center, whereas Atari, you'd have it sitting way down across from your TV, a long ways away. The other cool thing I learned about, it had one other cable in there too, and it was a DC cable for, I think this is a DC cable for Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, and then I don't know what this little one is here. I'm guessing it's for Mad Cat's special like light or something like that. Hang on, Sadie. I'm almost done, okay? The other cool thing I learned about the GameCube is that the earlier models had not only an analog AV out, but it actually had a digital AV out. And I only realized this when I got this, and then also when I was setting up all the consoles here. And the weird thing is this digital AV out cable, this digital AV out cable goes for like $250, $350 if you can even find one. And that's just goes to, I think, composite cable ends is on the other end of that. So that's something I'm definitely going to start looking for, is these component cables that lead into a GameCube adapter looking piece, because one, they're worth a lot, and two, they're very, very rare. So good thing to keep out, look an eye out for when you're going game hunting is, because you always see these bins of random junk cables, and I know nobody wants to go through them, but if you happen to see some cables, composite cables or whatever sticking out, yank on them and look at the other end.
Are you done yet?
Just about. Is there anything else here I have not shown? So I think now I'm going to just grab the camera and kind of show you around the game room briefly. I'm not going to do a huge tour and, point out every little thing. This isn't really a collection video. This is just kind of a, hey, this is what our game room looks like these days. And you can kind of see where we're at with it. So, you ready to do that?
What?
I just said we're going to hold the camera and show everybody this. Okay.
Can I do it? Can